Welcome to another Sun Lakes administration update. You have the Magenta brothers here, Jason Ewalls and myself, Christopher Mitchell. We didn't plan to dress with the same shirt, but we must be in sync, knowing what is going to happen today. Today's a cloudy day, Jason. It is raining. We're filming March 11th. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not seen you in some time. We apologize. We had the holidays. We had... let's see, January coming around. It is now March 11th, so we're doing filming. So we've got some things to catch up with.
Yeah, a lot of it, Chris, was, a lot of what we're going to talk about today. And that's kind of what we've been busy with and reason why we haven't been able to get in front of the audience here.
That's it. One of the biggest things you've seen, and I hope you've had an opportunity to either attend or possibly see it on Good Day Sun Lakes, was the transition CCL. The Compass Group will be taking over the food and beverage operations beginning April 1st. The board made that decision in January, and the board decided to go in a different direction, which is fine. CCL will be taking over the operations beginning April 1st. In preparation for this transition, we will be closing the restaurant. The last day of service will be Wednesday, the 28th. That's actually a board.
26.
26. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. See, that's why. Jason, you're good. It closes the 26th. That is a happy hour. So it'll be a happy hour hurrah. Then it will reopen Monday, April 7th. And that will allow CCL to come in and do some transitions. We've got to change POS systems.
Right, it's not like flipping a light switch.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff that has got to go on with the transition, closing one out and bringing in the other.
That's it. There's a process, and I believe they're going to be giving an update. Coffee with the GM will have a lot of that discussion, so stay tuned for that. But what else do we got going on, Jason, because of this CCL change?
That's just it. As we know here, we have a lively group, and we love to listen to some music on Friday and Saturday nights. Well, what does that mean? There's not going to be any food or drink service, unfortunately. But what we've done is we've pivoted, and we're going to put it out on the veranda. We're going to move it to a Music Under the Stars. And you guys all remember how Music Under the Stars works. Pretty much BYOB out on the driving range. So that allows all of you residents to get together. I've seen in the past people setting up picnic tables and having, big group functions out there, which is great to see. So remember, we're going to change that into, both weekends. So I believe that is the 28th, 29th, as well as the 4th and the 5th.
That's right.
We're going to move that and put the bands out on the bump out of the veranda, facing out towards the driving range, and allow everybody to kind of mingle and bring their own food and drinks. With that as well, Recreation will be selling some non-alcoholic beverages, as well as maybe some chips or some candy. Just cash only.
Yes.
Unfortunately, since we
will be
won't have
cash
the
only.
That is the one thing. We haven't. But unfortunately for this, we have to. Being what it is, we won't have the POS system set and ready to go.
Bitcoin not accepted at this time.
Bitcoin is not accepted, but cash is good.
Okay.
So that is what we're doing to kind of combat that. So fear not, we will still have entertainment. We'll just going to pivot to allow you guys to bring your own alcohol and have it treated like a concert out on the driving range. That's what we're doing there.
Okay.
But with that, Krista, I just want to make sure everybody is aware, though, it is very important. Even though our facility is closed, we still have the liquor license. That's why driving range and the two little grassy knolls adjacent to the veranda are okay. Those are outside of the ABC liquor license footprint. But stepping across onto that sidewalk there and on the veranda is a no-no.
And we have some help coming.
Yes, we do. So we will have extra patrol out there for that.
Good.
Again, it's money we're spent on that to make sure that we do keep our liquor license and we don't by chance have somebody violate it and get the ABC called. And like you said, when you're doing transitions, they love to come and make sure that everything's going well. So
that's
a
always
surprise visit
yes.
would not be unexpected.
That's right.
Making sure we dot our I's and cross our T's.
There you go. So we've got some admin updates for you. Some of the miscellaneous admin updates. So Jason, I think there's a couple of things. A big thing that's happening.
Boy, a big thing, yeah. Not a little miscellaneous. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, this is coming up on the election. With not only are you going to be voting for your new board members, but we have a ballot measure on there that will change not only the bylaws but the CC&Rs. What is it about? Well, it's about how you vote or how your delegate votes for you. In the past, we've had some issues to where quorum wasn't met in a district, and that delegate decided to vote all the votes one way or the other with their wishes, not how their constituents had voted. Another year, we had no delegates representing a district, and the way the bylaws state, those votes were not to be counted. So that entire district was not counted in that election.
Yep.
It is very unfortunate. So what this ballot measure does is it changes those two loopholes and closes them. Make sure that even if you don't reach quorum in your district, that your delegate must vote in the same percentage as the votes received. Same thing, it allows that designated delegate or that chair of the delegate assembly, if there's an absence of a delegate or an alternate, it allows that delegate, that chair to vote those again in the same percentage as received.
Yes.
Just to make sure that every vote is counted in which way it should. So very important. We want to make sure we get that out there, get the vote. Again, bylaws are 50% plus one.
Yes, but
the CCNRs is a supermajority, 75%.
Yes.
So, and that's 75% of the community voting 75% yes.
Yes.
So very hard to get. There are some, we had to do it in the past.
Yes.
When the state mandated us to change our CCNRs, we didn't quite meet that threshold. Had to go to court, and the court overturned it based on the fact that, one, it's very hard to get that 75% anymore. And not just in Sun Lakes, but across the board in communities all across the country.
Correct.
So again, make sure you tell everybody to get out there and vote, and that is something that you do want to vote on because it is a positive thing for the community. It's something that should have been closed a long time ago.
That's it. And speaking about elections, so there is an election calendar. It's on the website. If you go up, I think it's under board or something, and you go down to election. There's an election calendar. There was a meet the candidates form that was done, and that's on Good Day Sun Lakes, and that will be being rerun, so you can see that. Ballots were mailed Friday, March 7th, for the candidates that are running for the board, and the annual election will be Thursday, April 10th at 9 a.m. in the main clubhouse ballroom. So if you're going to mail the ballots back, which again we hope there's it's very important with this CCR amendment that we get that. So if you're going to mail it, try to do it 5 days in advance before the election. Now, I understand from dealing with some members of post office hasn't always been most timely. We've had some issues with that. So if you mail it 5 days before the election, that would be very good. If it's before that time or you just don't want to mail it, come down to the main clubhouse. Be there at 9 a.m. because the Inspector of Elections will take your ballots at that point. Just make sure you filled it out correctly, followed the instructions on what to do with the double envelopes, signing, all that good stuff. Make sure you do that, okay? So, election coming up Thursday, April 10th in the main ballroom. And and right after that, there'll be an organizational meeting. But we also have to prep because there's an event going on that evening. So we've got to quickly turn from election to hosting event. Okay, and I think we've also had some complaints, message to management. Again, ladies and gentlemen, message to management, please make sure if you have a concern, send it to message to management on the main website. There's a button, message management sends the email, or of course you can write on a card, put it in the box that is up at the main clubhouse next to the receptionist desk where Chelsea is. But something that's come through the message management are some safety issues.
Right.
And so maybe you can talk about some of that.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Great. Message management is a great way to get some questions answered or concerns. If you don't hear back, if you're doing it on the website, if you don't hear back within 2 to 3 days, please contact me directly. Sometimes there's an issue. It goes through about 3 different firewalls, unfortunately, from the forwarding. So there are times where certain domains it'll kick back. So make sure if you don't get a response when you do it on the website within 3 days, please contact us directly. With what Chris was saying, if you're writing it, if you don't want to use the computer and you want to write it down, the box in the clubhouse is picked up weekly. So that will be picked up at the end of the week and then be responded to. But with that, there are a few things that come up. There's been an uptick in people running stop signs. Now, this has always been an issue, something that will never go away. Yes. But we just have recently seen an uptick in people just not stopping, just blowing, not even a California roll, but just blowing right through it. That and speeding as well. So again, you guys be safe out there. Slow it down. Make sure you're stopping at all the stop signs. There have been more added throughout the community, so it's something that may not have been there the last time you drove down, but it is now. So again, be wary of people walking around. Slow down the speed. Make sure you stop. With that as well, trash day. Keep the sidewalks clear. We have a lot of homeowners that love walking in this beautiful community, and on trash day, sometimes they may have walkers or they may be seeing impaired, and having trash cans block the sidewalk is a detriment to them and could hurt them. So again, just like the rule states, please roll your trash cans right off the lip of the curb there, and we'll be safe, and so are the people walking.
Yes.
Another thing with trash, I know we have the big dumpsters at the clubhouses, the South Clubhouse, North Clubhouse, the main clubhouse. What we've seen an uptick in too is people dumping their trash in it from their house, even sofas sometimes. And you guys, we get charged by Waste Management when they're overflowing. So they do put a fee on it, and it's something that we want to try to avoid. So again, if you do have a big item, bulky items, you can contact Waste Management. They will do bulky item pickup. But please do not dump your trash in the trash at the clubhouses. They fill up enough from the parties and everything that's there and all the events that take place. That's kind of, Chris, the real things that I've seen come through.
Okay.
Other than that, I know we have a couple projects that are coming up, and
So we
we've
can
got a lot
talk
of things
about,
going on.
Yeah,
so.
we got some project updates. So Jason, why don't you give some
Sure.
further updates on
First
that?
thing, the big thing is South Clubhouse Gym got a new piece of equipment.
Good.
We've had that Cybex weight equipment down there, which is great equipment. It lasts through the time, but it comes a point to where something breaks. Let's go ahead and update it. So that's what we did. There was an arm extension machine that was broken in that area down there. As soon as you walk in to your right, there was an arm extension, arm curl. We got rid of those two, and talking with residents down there and seeing what they want, they wanted a cable machine.
Yes.
Cable machine allows you to do a large variation of exercises. So cable machine, a double stack was purchased for down there, allowing you to do a plethora of exercises, as well as some pull-ups, and fits in that area there. So so far, everybody's been happy with it. I'm working on trying to get somebody out here to kind of maybe do a brief about it, maybe schedule a day to have them there for an hour to go over it. And I have heard that some people may be like, oh, what can you do on this? So I'm working with the company, the manufacturer on that.
Nice.
At the end all be all, Chris, I can be down there and maybe schedule a time to do it.
There you go.
So that's a big thing. So please check that out. If you do notice, and with that, if you do notice anything that's broken or may not be working correctly, please contact the rec department. That way we can get the company out here to take care of it. Again, with other things going on, we got painting. Painting is big with the community. All the paint letters went out, and they are catching back up. But remember that even if you're painting the same color, you got to have a permit for it. So please reach out to the Planning and Compliance Department. Same thing coming up with spring. If you want to change your landscaping, you want to change out the flowers, add a planter, a little garden, even if it's the same, you do need to have an application for that. Again, reach out to the Planning and Compliance Department. Stop on by. They can walk you through that application process. Chris, that's just a couple things coming up, but I know that we do have a lot of other projects that you want going on.
Yes, there have been. So one of the things that we're also working on at staff behind the scenes, you may not always see it. Well, you'll see Jason, myself, or Mark Schneider walking around with clipboards doing our walkthroughs with the facilities. But a couple of areas that we're looking at is the main clubhouse entry. That for years we've received complaints through message to management about if I am at the front desk there, or I have a table and I'm selling either See's Candies or I'm selling for events, that if it's cold outside, that door opens and it stays open, the people freeze in there. And vice versa, when it is warm outside and that door opens up, that hot air blows in there, gets really hot, the AC can't cool it down fast enough. And so the board is looking and has tasked management to look at what are some of the options for the doors. Now, if you've gone down to the South Clubhouse, there are those accordion doors that are down there that open automatically and then close right back up. We're looking at something similar to that at the main clubhouse entry. So we'll be giving a report to the board coming up at the next executive session, and hopefully we can get that approved and get started with that. Some of the other things, and we do provide, if you've ever looked in the management report that I produce, it comes out pretty much every other month. We're trying to get back onto a 1 month time frame, but it has been busy with a lot of things going on. But we are still looking at cameras, about expanding that in other areas of the common area to protect the association, protect RV lot and other areas. Street signs, we're looking at a plan to do a phased approach going forward. And these aren't just the signs for warning or the striping that we're doing on the speed bumps. These are more of your street signs and your stop signs. There's several areas. Jason and I have driven around the community, and especially in some of the subs, you've seen that the wording has been just worn away, and so it could be Shoal, but it has S and it has L, and everything in between is kind of worn away. If we're wanting to present ourselves, at a higher standard to people coming in,
Right.
those are some of the little things we need to get back to, and that was delayed for a little bit. It wasn't approved, and this is something we're going to come back and look to do the whole community through a phased approach. But again, those tiny little things that do play a part in beautifying the community. Pavement. So speaking about another area, one of the largest assets we have are our roads. We do have a pavement management plan, and what that does is over the 5 years, several sections of the community get addressed either through just a slurry seal to milling or doing more on the roads. And so we have a project coming up. It will start mid-April and go a little bit toward May, depending on what the weather has for us. But you'll see that. We'll be putting out a schedule and also the color charts or what areas of the community are affected. That will be coming up. A phone system. This is another area that we've had concerns from members of. I've called and left a message, or something occurred and I couldn't get through. So what we've done, and Randy Robbins was leading this charge, and unfortunately he had to step away from the board, but we want to continue that because we need to bring our phone system into a modern era, meaning there's a customer service aspect where you can track the calls. Was a call received? Did they leave a message or not? Because in some cases we're seeing members will call in and they don't leave a message, but they'll call every extension. We can track that. We can see that. We have data then that will attest that yes, they didn't leave a message. So, and was that call returned? So there's some things that we need in the background to provide better customer service. And that's what Randy's vision was to improve customer service. The phone system was one of those areas. And so we'll look to continue that. Hopefully that will be something that we can get moving on in the second or third quarter of this year. Air balance has been an issue. That kind of goes with that front door in the main clubhouse. Balancing air means that you keep the cool air in the cool area, warm air in the warm area, and there's a flow, and it if one door opens, it doesn't just rush out like it does at the clubhouse. So we've been working on that. We had a member who has a history of worked in that industry, helping out Mark Schleiden. We kind of looked at the kitchen area, and it was actually a faulty door, not the air balancing that was the issue. But air balancing is going to be critical because in that kitchen where it gets really hot, you've got to move that hot air out without disturbing the doors and everything. So that is something we will be working on. Lounge acoustics. We heard that last night at the town hall with CCL. We've heard it board meetings, and we understand. We had a system in place with in the dome. There were those sound squares, absorbing squares. And unfortunately, fortunately or unfortunately, it depends how you look at it, when we redid the lounge expansion, we expanded the lounge and did the renovation, the fire department said those have got to go. You've got to either coat the dome with those or put in new squares but allow the sprinkler heads to pop through so that they won't, if there's a fire, the water would go into that area instead of being those little, whatever, those, what do we call it, sound dampening squares wouldn't put water in another area. So that is an adjustment we're going to have to make. Jason was working with a acoustical engineer. Yes, there are people out there that just do this for a living about sound, which is great. They've identified that as one area. Some other areas on the walls that can be addressed. Again, Jason's been working really hard with this, and we've got a good vendor that the board approved. They will be getting an update, the board will, at the next executive session on here are the list of options that this expert who does this for a living has stated need to be done, and it'll be up to the board to make the decision which option they want to follow. Also, as we move forward, again, we have the food and beverage transition. That Jason and I really have been busy with that since January, trying to get that transition to go very smoothly. And because we want CCL to be successful, because in the end, it's the members who will get that benefit from the success of everyone working together. So we've been really working on that. There's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that needs to be done in this transition that members aren't going to see, but that has taken a lot of our time. And of course, the bulk internet cable is still under review with legal counsel, and the board hopefully will have an update at the March open session. And with that is an update on the project so far. And I think we're at the point, Jason, where you give an update on the sub-associations.
Yes, thanks, Chris. A few things going on, just like the Master, the subs have elections as well. The elections take place 1 month earlier than the Master. They're actually taking place this month here. So with Lakeside, their election will take place on Friday, March 28th. It'll be at 2 p.m., held in the multi-purpose room. With them as well, with Lakeside, they are also going to be holding a town hall this Friday. So Friday, March 14th. Hopefully you guys get to see this. They're going to be holding it at 2 p.m. in the South Clubhouse. So make sure you attend that. It's something that's very important for the Lakeside residents, something that may affect you this year. So make sure you get down there and check that out. Again, Friday the 14th, this Friday, the 14th at 2 p.m. Tree trimming, you guys, with insurance has requested that we go through the community of Lakeside and do some tree trimming as well as some tree removals. So we'll be walking through that with a few board members, looking at the dangerous areas that the insurance has pointed out and removing that. Again, with that as well, we will reconvene our walkthroughs. So our monthly walkthroughs, when we do through the common area of all three sub-associations, those go from March to about October, November. They stop during the non-growing season, and then we pick them back up. So if there is any issues or anything you see out there in the sub-communities within the landscaping, please reach out to Julie Jacobson in operations in the administration office. That way we can put it down on the list and we can walk through it when we do our monthly walkthroughs with the board. Getting back to elections, Lakeside 2, their elections will be held on Thursday, March 27th. Theirs will be at 3:30 p.m. again in the multi-purpose room in the main clubhouse. And finally, Fairway Villas, they will have theirs on Tuesday, March 18th at 2 p.m. in the multi-purpose room of the main clubhouse. So within the next 2 months here, we'll have new board members for all four associations and moving forward.
There you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of our update. Next update will be occurring in April. And we wish you, on the behalf of Jason Ewalls and myself, Christopher Mitchell, have a wonderful day. Take care and stay good, Sun Lakes.
Take care, everyone. Bye.